it is a type of therapy. Being able to go out, being able to read, being able to listen to other people that have got the same struggles, and maybe think one day I'll be brave enough to tell my story and free myself from, my own story, which is what we all need to do. We need to be freed from our own mistakes, from our own doubts, from all those things. And a lot of that is just to do with talking.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of The Big Chat. I am your host. As you can see, I'm on Zoom today because I'm talking to two very special people who are going to be in the studio with me soon, doing a regular last Friday of every month episode, co-hosting with me, Coco, on The Big Chat, because one of these people I've wanted to work with for a long, long time. And then I met the other person. I was like, oh my God, we've just got to do something. They're brilliant for Tunbridge Wells, and they've just brought so many creatives to light that were maybe not so well known in Tunbridge Wells. So I'm delighted today to introduce you to Hannah and Dan from Word Up. Or Dan and Hannah from Word Up. Word Up, basically, isn't it?
Yeah, hi. Yeah. Thank you so much for having us. We're so excited.
So, Dan's what was that, Dan? Do that?
Sorry? I don't know. It's just words with my eyes. That's all.
So for those that don't know your gorgeous faces, tell everyone, take turns. How did you two start at the beginning, guys? How do you know each other?
We know each other quite well, haven't we?
Quite well. I went to nursery with Dan when we were little babies, but then Dan became best friends with my brother, and so we hung out a lot when we were teenagers.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think I was friends with you first, though.
Were you?
Yeah. I was friends with you first.
Just because you got good taste.
And I remember hanging out with you at the roller disco once. There were roller discos when we were kids, giving away our ages. And I was hanging around. We were just chatting. Neither of us wanted to skate, if you remember.
No,
we
were both chatting. At all,
yeah. We were both. Oh my God, this is another one of our memories. I didn't remember.
This could go very wrong because Dan tells me things that happened in our childhood or our teenage years all the time, and I'm like, did that happen? Oh my gosh.
No. So anyway, we were just sort of joking about, and I think you were going out with a mutual friend at the time, and then I think it might be Matt Roberts.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, that's my first boyfriend.
There you go. And we were just sort of joking about, almost trying to not we were both battling the nerves to actually get on skates, which is weird because later I began playing roller hockey quite seriously with all the other guys. Then I just met Dan through a few other people, and me and Dan just became best mates.
Oh,
so that's how we know each other. But then Dan has become like a part of he's like almost like an adopted son to my parents. They adore him. So so Dan is like, even because my brother doesn't live here anymore, he lives in Dubai, but Dan's always around basically. Dan runs a very successful gardening business. He's doing some work here today in the garden, got some people working here, which is brilliant. And Dan started running Word Up 10 years ago. And do you
10 years ago? Was it 10 years ago?
No, 10 years ago, what it was is I'd split up with my girlfriend, and my brother had signed me up to a slam in, where was it? Brighton.
Yeah.
Which was really quite stressful. And I just thought, okay, I was a rapper at the time. I didn't really do too much poetry, but I did some of my raps and it went down really well. And I thought, we need to do this in Tunbridge Wells. How come people don't have this outlet? Because there were so many people. It was sort of like 16 people wanted to sign up and they only had spots for 8. So I thought, wow, Tunbridge Wells, there's a lot of people that like to write. There's a lot of people that have a lot more stress underneath them than it first appears. So I thought, perfect, let's do it. And so we just started Word Up. We just thought, this is great. Jay at the Forum was really helpful, gave us the space, and has worked with us for 10 years on a very special and amazing event. And for about 4 or 5 years, I've been trying to get this amazing lady to come and write something. I said, you really enjoy it. It's your kind of vibe. It's like a tribe of amazing creative people.
And he did. He really... The thing, because Dan's known me so long, he obviously remembers my teenage self when I used to write poetry. Yeah. And I'd kind of forgotten that. Well, I hadn't forgotten it, but I just detached myself from that part of me, I think, over the years. So Dan kept saying, when are you going to come read something, Han? When are you going to write? And I was like, I'm not a poet. I don't write. And then during COVID, I started writing poetry. And I saw Dan, and I was like, Dan, guess what? I started writing poetry. I'm going to come and read. And he was like, yay! So obviously during COVID, we couldn't run Word Up. And then I'd obviously got into poetry massively after COVID. I sold my business last year and decided that I was going to spend some time on myself. And one of the things I did was write a lot of poetry. And so I had a lot of free time. And Dan is so skilled at hosting. He makes it look so easy, you know, and he's such a great lyricist and just an all-round wonderful person. He has the ability to see the brilliance in people. Yeah. So Jess is a great example of someone that came to Word Up and Dan encouraged to get up, and now she's an award-winning poet. And he's had like Holly McNeish on before she was famous. I mean, he's had so many brilliant poets on. He's got a real ability to see talent, basically.
Yeah.
What Dan doesn't have is the business skills and the administration and organisational skills that I have. I'm known as the clipboard lady.
Yes, Hannah is the clipboard lady.
The clipboard lady, I love that.
Coco, she nearly had a panic attack last month when there was no clipboard. Seriously.
Oh, well, she would love me. She would have loved me earlier on today. Then me last minute job Harry saying, "Oh, I need this for a couple of days' time."
I am very much. I'm a very creative person, so I am very last minute. Like, give me a deadline, and I'll do it 2 days before. I'll like think about it and then go, "Oh God, I've got to get that thing done." But yeah, so what is brilliant is now so Dan was like, yeah, come and kind of co-host Word Up with me, come on board, let's do this thing together. And it's a voluntary thing, you know, neither of us get paid. Yeah. You know, Dan's been running it for, like I said, 10 years just for the love of creating this wonderful community that we have. So we got big plans now. We're going to be looking for sponsorship. Dan's been writing a play. We want to be putting that on. We've got so many exciting things. We want to do a book. So
storytelling as well.
Storytelling, yeah.
Storytelling, going back to the kind of almost the roots of creativity. Just telling a story of your own story, true stories, real life stuff that we can share with each other. You know.
That is so powerful, because that was why it's funny how it sort of manifested, because obviously I knew Hannah you've been on the Big Chat with Love Inc. And then I remember going for dinner with Hannah, and Hannah saying, "Oh, I'm not doing Love Inc. anymore." And I was like, "Okay." And she was like, "Yeah, I'm a poet." And I was like, "Okay." And then obviously, Hannah, you've done a few things with me. You've done stuff with the Soapbox. You've done bits and bobs with people. Every time I'm anywhere, I'm like, I've got this amazing friend that's a poet. Get her along. And I just ring her up. I'm like, get her along. So it's what it's you talking about getting creatives to come out and speak is brilliant, because you want to hear people's story. That's what's interesting, isn't it? That's what makes, and not everyone's got the confidence to do that. And if you're giving them a platform to do that, that's where I feel it aligns so well with what we're doing, because we like speaking to people we want to know who they are, not just what they are or what they can do. We want to know who that person is and what got them to where they are, which is exactly why we're talking to you now. And it sounds like, Dan, you're pretty selfless. And after 10 years, it's about time that you got a bit, support and collab and people like me and Hannah and other people helping you in your creativity, because you've created a massive platform for people for the last 10 years selflessly, which is
what I would say though, Coco, is that it is lovely to have the platform, but I enjoy it. I really do. I love it. I love the fact that there's not the same level of pressure that I see that I see with some of my friends. And I because I know a few fairly successful musicians. And when I see that, I see the pressure, and I've seen them fall in and out of love with their true love. They love their music, and suddenly it becomes a job. Suddenly the label are putting pressure on, and suddenly the person that you work with puts pressure on. And that's why, for me, to facilitate and to be able to just be a part of these things is way more fun. I've never fallen out of love. I've been able to do Word Up for 10 years because I haven't had to deal with all the other stresses and all the things that people try to put on you.
And going back to what you said, Coco, as well, that's why we want to do this podcast with you, because we're both fostering community, right? That is essentially our passion. And the reason we do things is from a point of passion. And human beings are motivated mostly by connecting with other people. It's kind of a fundamental driver in us. And what you do and what we do is allow humans to connect with each other. And that's so powerful on an individual basis, on a community basis, and that radiates out.
Yeah. And it absolutely. I mean, when I first came along and saw you guys doing what you're doing, I'm sorry I've not been for 10 years. I feel very bad that I've not been, because I saw so many people that I knew there, and I was just like, oh my God, this is like, revisiting my youth. It was amazing. But also, talking to Hannah and speaking to Hannah about what's been going on, who you've had on there. It will be so interesting to talk to those people. I mean, and to also give them another platform without the stress, Dan, because I hear you, that stress is, there's certain things, we've had this discussion, Hannah, about falling in and out of love with things. And I like to do what I love. And when I stop loving it, or if I get a feeling that I'm not going to love it, I'm getting much better at saying, I'm not going to do that now, because you have to, if for stress levels, I think for me personally, I have to. But it's like the soapbox. I do the soapbox for love. I just, people think I'm mad, but I love it. I absolutely love it. It sets me alight, and I love it. And I love seeing everyone on the day. And so there's certain things that you keep doing. But this, I just think it's just going to be a great collab, because you guys are going to be able to once a month say to me, right, let's talk to these people. And it would just be so exciting to do that in the studio and just bring that extra element from it. Because you're the first Wednesday of each month. Is that right? Is that when you're at the forum?
Yeah, we're the first Wednesday of every month. This month we're going to be the 8th of March, just because it coincides with International Women's Day.
Yes.
But normally, first Wednesday of every month at the forum. Doors open at 7:30. It's a £5 to get in. And open mic slots, kind of first come, first served. Last month was our busiest month yet. We had BBC Radio Kent down there, who did a feature on us and did some recordings, which was really cool. We just got really exciting big plans, so it's just going to get bigger and bigger. It's brilliant.
Absolutely. And one of the Lee, who we've been to a few spoken word events, she wrote a piece about the forum, which we're actually going to have painted onto the wall.
It's
It was such a fantastic piece, just about her love for this old toilet and brass rubbing centre, and how it has been transformed into the most important community venue in the whole town, despite its size and despite its struggles. It is the most important. And actually, Lee's co-writing the play with me, and her story is brilliant, because she was petrified.
Yeah.
And she'd been coming to Word Up for probably 3 years or so, and she would never read. And one time we had 3 or 4 people, and I just said, Lee, look, please just read, because we just don't have enough poets today, but we have an audience, so we have to get people to read. And she read, and I was just like, what?
So talented.
She was just so amazing. I was blown away, and I just thought, if people can have that much skill and ability and talent and still be sort of afraid, then what else is there out there? Because there must be millions of other people out there who have that ability to express, to enable other people to relate and stuff like that. So
I mean, I think that's one of the strengths that we have, is the diversity of our readers and our poets. That it is genuinely so diverse, and that's one of the things I really love about it, that it's all walks of life, and that is something so empowering. And I know it can be a kind of a bit buzzwordish and all that stuff about diversity, but it genuinely is. And that is so lovely, because we've fostered this community, or Dan has, over the last 10 years, where everyone is genuinely welcome. And we, again, having me on board for Dan, we try and talk to new people as much as we can. But like last month, how many people did we have down there? I don't know, about 50, 70 people, something like that. And it's hard for us to talk to everyone. So it just is so nice when someone new comes up to me and goes, oh, hi, I've never come before. Because I'm always pushing the social, I'm pushing the admin. I'm like, come and give me your email address, get our newsletter, let me be able to talk to you. And they come up to me and they're like, oh yeah, we really want to come again. It's our first time coming. And, they're really buzzing, and it's brilliant. It's so nice.
I think you're an amazing combo as well. I think you're a great combo. Do you know what I mean? You have fun doing it.
To be honest, I knew that Hannah and I together would add different things, and it would, and also we can't fall out. Bloody hell, we
We've known each other too long.
we would have
I'll fall out with Hannah anyway. It's important. How can you how could you fall out with Hannah? She's just like,
absolutely
radiates peace. I mean, there's just nothing but love in that heart. I'm sure the same with you, Dan. But
exactly.
you know, I can't see anyone falling out with Hannah, but especially you two, like you say, when you've been mates. It's like, you know, a mutual friend of ours, Pascal, does bits and bobs for me. I mean, he's just like my brother. I just, you know, even when he annoys me, I mean, he doesn't really annoy me.
I know Pas though, Coco. I know Pas.
I know you do,
and I can say that he will at some point annoy you. Definitely, he will.
It's whether you let it get to you. That's the thing. She's 2Z now.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done 30 years and managed it, so there's still time, isn't there, Dan? But he'll be watching.
No, I'm wary about giving Pas this much airplay. To be honest, Nicole. You know what I mean? He was
already trying to get on the episode. He was trying to get on it. He phoned me earlier and was like, "What? You're going to be talking to Dan?" He's trying to get in on it, you know.
I know, but he likes to be a part of everything, doesn't he? He's a good guy. We'll miss him when he goes back to hands in air for sure.
Me too. And that's what's nice. I think that's what's great about you guys, and what would be great for me about doing that sort of collab co-hosting, because I've wanted to do that for a long time. There's some people that I speak to that I'm just like, wow, they're so amazing. They've got such amazing potential in them and such an interesting stream of people to talk to. I don't always want to be the one that's sat there talking. I want to get different angles on things as well. And I think this is the perfect way to do it, and the perfect way to complement what you do with what we do. And we can have, you know, multiple guests. We can have, you know, you two be chatting. And are you going to take turns, or are you going to hit the deck together? Are you going to be like, double mic'd up?
I think possibly for the first one we could come down and do it together, maybe.
Yeah.
Would that be? Yeah, that sounds quite good. But I think, you know, it's just managing everything. You know, what is it? They're called load management and stuff like that. So it's like, we both do a lot basically. So to commit to every week or every month might be tricky. But I think
other month.
If we sort of do most of them together.
And also it'd be nice.
Hannah's like, we want to do most of them together.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, Dan?
No, it'd be great because we're both part of Word Up, so that's great. But what would also be nice is to showcase some of the poets.
Well, that's what we're going to do. It's exactly that.
So,
that is your slot where you get to. I said to Hannah, I mean, admin, whatever we're calling her, lady. What you said? I've never imagined Hannah with a clipboard.
Creative clipboard director.
Creative clipboard director, Hannah G. I mean, I've just never had that concept in my vision, but now it's there. I'm going to have to get you a special clipboard for your first co-host. She's got one, hasn't she?
She's got a clipboard. She didn't even need it. It's a handmade sort of like clipboard. It's fantastic, isn't it?
I need a little Word Up logo.
Yeah. We can do that.
You do. You need some branding on there, please. I think we need a Word Up, some glasses from Edney and Edney who are sponsoring us. Hello, Edney and Edney. They need glasses for the episodes.
I love my glasses.
I didn't get any glasses.
Sorry, Dan. Sorry, Dan. We can sort that out for the next episode, I'm sure. This week's episode of The Big Chat has been sponsored by the incredible team Edney and Edney. Now, if you don't know what Edney and Edney is, these babies came from Edney and Edney. Edney and Edney will test and check your eyes, and they will fit you with the perfect pair of spectacles that will make you feel spectacular. I mean, literally, you've probably seen all the different glasses I've got. They just know. Go in there. They're a husband and wife team. Go in there and have a chat with them, and they will check out what lenses you need, and they will fit something perfect for you that's totally unique to your personality, to your brand, to your whole being. So thank you, Edney and Edney, for supporting us by sponsoring the episode of The Big Chat and a few more, but also for letting me be an ambassador, because I absolutely love my glasses. I think it'll be so much fun to be able to showcase people. You know, that's what I'm looking with you guys, is for you to tell me who we should be talking to, because we do get lots of people approaching us now, which is really nice, and saying, can we come on and talk? But also a lot of the people are people that have inspired me and I've known in the town. And I know a lot of people, but same as you guys, I'm busy. I've got lots on and I can't get to everyone I want to speak to. So I think it would just be because what you said, Dan, about people not being able to, not realizing their own potential. I know Hannah's a great advocate of that as well, of unlocking people's creativity and power. And I've always, with coaching, that's what I love about coaching, is like getting the gold out of someone. I'm not quite there in my headspace at the moment to do my coaching, but it's something that I probably will go back to, because I just, like when I was a yoga teacher, I loved it. Seeing someone come in and then them leave a totally different person is transform. It's just beautiful to see someone transform and go, wow. But sometimes they need encouragement, don't they?
Yeah. A lot of people have gone on to do some quite amazing things that we've had. You're talking about Holly McNeish. We had one chap called Chris from Brighton. I think it was Chris Parkinson.
Yeah.
Really, really lovely guy, but very quirky and interesting. He had this very intense style, and he'd be throwing papers all over the place. And then he'd pick them up at the end. But he was very political and all these things. But he was very funny, and he put an advert in the Argus in Brighton for a flatmate. What he said was that I need a flatmate. I've been living on an island. I need someone who's willing to dress as a walrus, because there is a story. It comes to an end. But anyway, this walrus apparently that he needed to live with, rent is so expensive in Brighton. He had 300 replies saying, "I'll dress in your walrus suit for free rent in Brighton. That sounds amazing." And sorry. So anyway, this Chris was then suddenly got a message from Kevin Smith, a very famous producer. He did Mall Rats, what else? Clark's. He did a few other ones. Anyway, he's a very famous guy, Silent J and Bob, and he's I think he's Silent J. He's the bigger one of the two. Anyway, I'm going on a bit, but this guy was approached by Kevin Smith, was flown out to the States for a few ideas, and Kevin Smith made a film called Walrus that was inspired by this guy, Chris. So these crazy, interesting creatives that we get aren't your average everyday kind of just, strum on a guitar and tell you that their heart's broken kind of people. They're really, really interesting people. So
yeah.
I love that. And anyone can come and speak. So for people that want to come along and they want to get involved, because some people might be listening thinking, well, I'm not a poet, or I'm not. I mean, could you literally talk about anything that you want? Like you said, mentioned political thing. I mean, you could read your own ad if it was about a walrus. I think that I'd like to hear that.
Yeah, so, I want him to do that. Yeah.
Do you want them to really express as much as they can? And that can be in any format. So could it be a rap? Could it be anything that they want to get across on the mic?
So, Nicole, what we've had people come and do their own songs and just read them out.
Yeah.
People from decent bands.
Yeah.
Isaac Holman from Soft Play and Baby Dave, he came down and
I saw that.
Yeah, he just did some stuff on his guitar. So it's really about sort of wordy stuff. And we've had feature artists play on the guitar. It's not the ideal. It's supposed to be spoken word. But if somebody wants the comfort of their guitar, that's fine, because it's, a lot of things that people write are poetic. I once said, if you can put something on Facebook and you can write that and people are going to read it, then you can come and write something for a spoken word event. It's as simple as that. It's just write something down. Some people have 2 lines and that's it.
Yeah. I think that is it, that, we're not looking for groundbreaking, kind of the most eloquent language and expression. It's literally about show us a bit of your soul. Tell us who you are.
Yes.
That's what it is. It's connect with us. It's connect with other people. It's just, come and just be real. Share your words. So yeah. And it is just first come, first serve. There aren't favourites. We kind of, as you come in, we've got an open mic slot. We normally get, last month we had our busiest ever, and we had 20 poets read. And that's probably our max. We can probably really only do 20 poets.
What we do is we try to manage it so that nobody goes away.
Yeah.
And we try to sort of like get people to read slightly less, or just one poem, or or whatever, or we'll just keep the breaks shorter. We'll start earlier if we see there's lots of poets there, so people that aren't kept waiting, so that everyone does get to read, even if they read to less people.
Yeah.
You know, because they start a bit earlier. It's important for people to say the things that they're going to say, really. So.
I think it's amazing. I think Tunbridge Wells as a town is just to have these things now. It's just, you know, that we've got is just brilliant. And I think for the last few years, there's just been this burst of creativity again. It's really fabulous to see. And I think without people like yourself, Dan, and Hannah, who take risks and put themselves out for the community, we wouldn't have that. You know, we wouldn't have that. Not everyone does that. We know lots of people. We know lots of people out there that do it, and it's a lot of it is selfless. But it is like you say, if you love what you do, then it's easy to do it, isn't it? It's really easy to do it, and you guys are really passionate about this, and I can't wait. I mean, I'm looking forward to meeting a whole host of people that I don't think I would meet normally, because I'd love to come to Word Up every month, but I just can't always get there. I have something else on that evening. I managed to get in for like the last bit, but I'll be there and I'll try and be it more. But, you know, I think there's a whole audience out there of people that I'd love to hear about and learn about, because creativity is in my soul. And just connecting with that with other people is what it's all about. And especially those people that, as you both touched on, maybe have a bit of fear around it and really think they can't do something, and you're helping them do it. That's so empowering. I mean, to give power to people is just, I'm all over that. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, it's fun.
So you're starting at the end of April. Who's going to be your wish guest list for the last?
I think we should definitely try and get Leon for the first one.
Yeah, it'd be good to have Leon, because we could maybe even, because the play that I'm writing with Lee at the moment is about. There's two things that sort of came up in podcasts I was listening to and stuff, and so we wanted to do something about single mothers. Because Lee and I were both had upbringings that for Lee it was that she was a single mother, and for me it was that my mother was a single mother bringing us up. And so to both of us, it sort of like, it amazed us at how difficult it still is for a single mother to bring up her children. And just, it happened that one day I came back from work and I was watching the news, and they were talking about how difficult it is for women with stalking as well. And so I wanted to bring, and Lee had that issue. So to me, it was great to be able to bring the two things together and have the discussion of, how are we not doing stuff about stalkers? How are police making a phone call to say, oh, I hope you don't keep bothering this lady? I mean, how are we still in that world? It's nuts. You know, and women, single mothers, one of the biggest issues that is a constant, and it has always been a struggle, is that mentally it's not easy. Mentally you feel very lonely. So when I found out personally that women were struggling to get help with mental health, even though they were, you know, single parents, I was sort of like, well, they're the people we have to make sure get all of the kind of therapy and help that they need, because otherwise we're only creating the same story for another young kid. Do you see what I mean? It's just amazing, the lack of support for single mothers. So it would be great if we could get Leon, and maybe we could read a couple of extracts.
Yeah,
from
that'd be really nice. Yeah, it's really.
I love the sound of that, and that play's writing sounds amazing. I mean, that just touched my soul. Yeah, because you know, I'm lucky. I have a really good relationship with my ex-husband or partner, but you know, I'm very grateful for that, because a lot of people I know don't. A lot of people really struggle with single parents, and I get a lot of support from him. But saying that, I have brought up my children pretty much on my own for 5 years, and it is really tough. And when you're a working mum, and the guilt is just unbelievable. The push pull. You know, I've got to work. We've talked about with many guests on that, and the stalking thing as well is hideous. I mean, I've had experience of stalking. My neighbours had experience of a stalker, and they were two women living alone. It is it's appalling that. And I have been genuinely terrified in my own home, absolutely terrified. And I've been one of those people that's phoned up the police and said, you know, you need to come round. And every time someone got to, it's not right. It's not right. So I think to expose that and to put more awareness around that is very, very powerful and needs to be done. And yeah, you're right. People do need more support. It's like people just need support. People that are on their own of all background, like literally my dad, when my dad was around, God rest his soul, he had he not had us as kids, he was on his own, he would have struggled with so much. You know, that gave me an looking glass at how hard it is for elderly that are on their own. You know, anyone that's on their own. And if you can give them somewhere where they don't have to be alone, that's powerful. That's I think that's what life's about, really, personally, you know. And if you can enable that in any way, then brilliant. If you can help.
Connection.
Exactly. That's the beautiful thing about the event, though. Word up. You know, so many people are so happy to have the platform that you kind of know that it is a type of therapy. Being able to go out, being able to read, being able to listen to other people that have got the same struggles, and maybe think one day I'll be brave enough to tell my story and free myself from, you know, my own story, which is what we all need to do. We need to be freed from our own mistakes, from our own doubts, from all those things. And a lot of that is just to do with talking, saying it enough. And
he's very wise, this Dan chap, isn't he?
I know, it's good, isn't he?
How have he... It's funny. Wise with humour. That's what we like.
Yeah.
It's like you can talk about serious things, but have a laugh at the same time, please. We like laughter and joy.
Exactly. That's why I just pull silly faces and stuff. No, I think you must have a massive ego if you're comfortable with praise, compliment.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm really not comfortable with it.
You should take compliments well. It's an insult to the person that gives you the compliment.
I know. I do try.
Are you having your first proper big chat?
No, I was just thinking of when we did the
first one seen here on the big chat. Hannah and Dan fall out over compliments.
when we did the chapel.
Yeah.
Sam came up to me.
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh man, that was really good. I know he did." And I just didn't know what to say, so I said, "I don't even remember what I said." And I just thought, bloody rude, Dan. You're terrible, man.
I mean, I have to say, sat here, I know that Hannah can be like, you know, it's too much attention on you. You can be the same. And I'm the same too. And I know when this comes out later on this week, there'll be, you know, a big feature that's talking about us in a certain magazine, in Tunbridge Wells, So magazine. And there'll be lots about that. And I hated having my photo taken, you know, and I did a podcast being interviewed on Friday, and even that, I'm just watching myself back and I'm twitching and I'm wriggling and I'm like, it's not my comfort zone. Talk about other people till the cows come home. Tell them how brilliant I am. Exactly. Oh, I can do that, but someone starts telling me I'm great. I'm like that.
That's why I want to come on your podcast and interview you. I've been telling you this for ages. I want to be the presenter one week and interview you on your podcast. And we should do that. I want to be like a guest interviewer, but the only person I want to interview is you.
I think everyone have had enough over the next couple of months of seeing my face, but they're going to get to see your lovely faces and a whole load more. And I'm just really excited. And we can open up, can't we? If people want to come on or they want to talk on. But yeah, you guys, I'm giving you clipboard, start writing those names down because we need to start an agenda. But we're definitely getting it branded, Hannah.
Yeah.
That's where your magic is. Come on, you know that. So, I know. And I know that Hannah's up to more exciting plans, and we can elaborate that more by April. I'm sure it's going to be a whole different story. But yeah, we've got some great episodes coming up. But I can't wait. So thank you.
So excited.
Thanks for having us as well. It's been
and thank you, Evelyn Eddy, for the glasses. I love them.
She's so good. She'll be in there
back to her.
They're not mine. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Dan, we'll get you some good glasses for your hosting slot. But I hope to do lots with both of you because I think you're great. I'm only just getting to know Dan on a level, but yeah, I can see your soul is deep and I'm all for that. So I'm looking forward to an interesting journey this year with you guys and seeing what more comes out of Word App. It sounds beautiful, and books and all this stuff you got to talk about. I mean, person listening in on the headphones, he's played at the forum, he's written some books, he's a creative himself. So we're all about spreading that love.
Oh, Coco, and by the way, just give a mention to the forum. What an amazing venue that has given everyone so many amazing things. So we did
mention it, and we can mention it again because I mean, they are, and we know. And Jay has said he's going to come on an episode, so maybe we could get him on an episode because I tell you what, he's been saying.
Jay would be great.
he's been saying to me, him and Isabel, for ages about half the reason I got lined up to do some emceeing was because of Isabel, because Isabel and Jay had seen me at Local and I've gone on the stage very embarrassed at Paul Dunton's and go, hello, I'm backstage doing a big chat, which was terrifying. I don't know how anyone can sing. I was absolutely terrified. If I watch it back, I just cringe. And Isabel was like, oh, you've got to do some MC stuff. So we've got to get Jay on lots of things.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Gardening, we could take it all out there. I know you're in a rush to go and do gardening, aren't you?
But one event that's coming up that's really, really special. Arrested Development are coming back again. End of May, Everyday People, Tennessee, Give a Man a Fish, Mr. Wendell. And that's for the last day of Unfest, which is that May bank holiday weekend.
Brilliant.
And it's a free festival put on by the Forum that everyone should attend. Loads of great artists. We'll be doing loads of
2 days.
So come down.
2 days. We'll definitely come down. We'll get some people on the show. We can promote it. We can
out though for the Arrested Development. Just so
get your tickets now.
Oh my God. Seriously, I need to know about that. When is it? Where's the date again?
May bank holiday, end of May.
The last Monday in May.
29th, 28th, 29th, something like that.
I'm back. I'm doing Ibiza. I'm learning to DJ with Ibiza in Ibiza with Jamie, DJ Cookie. So I'm doing the old DJ training. So I'm doing that beginning of May. So yeah, I'll be super keen to see what's going on down there.
We're just having our own chat now about.
I know. Sorry, we should go.
No, it's right.
This is what's going to end up happening. We're just going to have our own chat and we'll just be talking, just totally. But that's all.
I'm going to Jamaica at the end of the year to visit my family for a month, and I'm probably going to go to New York prior to that. So that's going to get
nice.
Yeah, going to do lots of writing and stuff.
Nice.
And going anywhere nice?
I've got a few festivals lined up, but we haven't sorted our summer holiday yet. We're going to Dubai to my brother in October.
Danny boy, where we started the podcast, we shall end.
I like it. Well, look, guys, thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for being a part of what we're doing, and we're just excited to be working with you guys.
Thank you so much.
We love you and we love the Forum. We love everything that you both do. So I'm super excited. And yeah, Clipboard, we'll get some dates down and then, just rock up with your guests. That's it. It's that easy. It's no stress, Dan. No stress.
Easy. Easy.
We'll carry the burden, won't we, Hannah? We'll carry
it. Yeah.
Is that what you want me to think? Is that what you want me to believe, right? Yeah.
There's no flies on you, is there? Right, I'm going. All right, listen, it's so good to see you guys. Have an amazing rest of the day and look out for Hannah and Dan. Get down to the Forum and see them. Anything about Word Up? You've got a website? Anything they can go to? Sign up to the newsletter.
Socials. Instagram is at Word Up _TW, and our Facebook is, I think if you just search Word Up Tunbridge Wells, you should find us.
I think it might be Word Up Poetry, maybe.
Oh, okay, there you go.
We'll put it in the links below. We'll put it in the notes below. So if anyone wants to find out more, or just reach out to us and we'll put them in the right direction. But from last Friday in April, regular slot, these guys will be co-hosting with me, and it should be a lot of fun in the studio. I'm looking forward to it. We might run over our episodes on times. I think we might need Giles to give us a little bit of a click. Start talking about holidays again. But anyway, amazing, and enjoy the rest of your days, guys. And thank you.
See ya. Thanks, Nicole. Been a pleasure.